Hello everyone, this is Rita Holmes, independent demonstrator with Stampin Up from Hamilton, Ohio, and I am here to bring you the Wreath of Blooms kit that is an exclusive kit. You can buy that online. It is only in the online stores. Just something that they do all their kits, which are online, so there's a lot of card kits, a lot of different type of kits, but this is actually a wreath that you can hang on a door. I'm not even sure how big it measures. It doesn't say, but let me measure it real quick. It is like an 8-inch wreath form. So it's about an 8-inch wreath, and it'll be, it's really cute. I took one today. I already made one, and I took it up and hung it on my sister's door. She's in a nursing home, and it was really cute. She appreciated it, so you know, that's a good thing. That's a good thing you can do with it. I know I'm looking off to the side, but I am going to bring up on my computer my video so that I know if I'm in focus or not doing the, when I make the wreath. So I got that all set up, so that is done. And you can't set it up to after you're on here because it's like a 10-second delay or something like that, so have to do that. But anyway, I'm going to show you the Wreath of Blooms kit tonight. It's a good price point. It's $13 for the kit. And I think that's pretty cheap for the kit. You get everything you need in it except you need a glue gun. So you might want to make sure you have that. If you use glue, it's okay to use glue, or you can use tear and tape too. If you use the glue though, just make sure that you give it time to dry, because you don't want your wreath to fall apart once you get it made. We are bringing out, starting in March, we will have, I'm trying to get my papers together here. We're going to have an exclusive kit. It's called Hello Irresistible Sweet. It's $74.50, and in that you get a stamp set, a set of dies, a pack of 6x6 paper with 48 sheets in it, and then you get, they're called loose frosted dots. There's like 360 little gems in there. And in this paper kit, they are bringing back, not out, a couple colors that we've already had, which is Pretty Peacock and Lost Lagoon. So hopefully after March 1st, when you're allowed to buy these, we've already got to buy a preview. They'll have the papers that we can buy too, because some of us don't have those anymore, so we would really like to have them. They also have 3 other things that they feature on there, which is a naturally gilded paper, 3 embossing folders, and that comes together. You have to buy all 3 of them together, and then an alphabet set. So that's all coming out in March for you. It's all exclusively online. It's not going to be in any catalog or whatever, so you're going to make sure you have to visit an online store. I will give you the address to my online store if you don't already have a demonstrator that you use. I would be more than happy to help you with your order. When I turn the camera down, I will show you what that looks like. I do have the stamp set in that, so I can show that to you. I got all the stuff sitting pretty close to me, so I'll be able to show that to you. And also for this month, they did some add-ons for the celebration. It's stuff that's in the catalog. 2 of it is kits, a kindness card kit, Let's Party Treat packaging kit. Then they have white frayed ribbon, the essential tag punch, the songbird builder punch, the Into the Clouds embossing folder, the Hive 3D embossing folder, the Loveliest Layers decorative masks, and the Enjoy the Journey 12x12 paper. Any of those 9 things you can get free with a $50 order. It's just an add-on to the celebration catalog. For $100, if you place a $100 order, you can get the Eden's Garden bundle, which is a good deal. So we do have that going on, but I'm going to turn the camera down so that we can see the wreath. Well, see the picture of it because I don't have one done, which is okay. And I also will have my host code and my online store. Now, this does not mean that you have to buy from your online store. I can order it for you with a credit card if you do not like to go online and order for yourself. Or, you know, some people don't like to do it. Some people aren't comfortable doing it to place their own order. They're not used to doing it. So we can do anything like that. But my online store is ritaholmes.stampinup.net. Okay, while I am turning this video down to where you're going to be able to see what I'm doing, if you could give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done that, I would really, really, really appreciate it. So let's get this turned around. Let's get the cord out of the way. I don't think you need to see the cord. Here's my info. Here's what the wreath looks like. And here's all my information too on that I wrote on here, ritaholmes.stampinup.net. The order number for this is 162362, and it's $13. So we have that. And then here is a picture of all of the new stuff that is free for celebration. There's the $100 set, which is the Eden's bundle. And then all these are for an order of $50. You'll get one of those for free that you can pick out. They are also on in the online store that you're able to see them if you place an order of $50 or more. And then here is the bundle that's coming out in March. Here's the stamp set. It's called Irresistible Blooms. It is a cling mounted set, which is nice. I love the fonts that they have up here. It says, I like you, thank you, hello, hooray, it's your day, and I couldn't be happier to have you as my friend. And then these are the dies that go with it. Here is like a wreath type thing, just a border. Then we have the leaves are right here, and there's the flower. So and then here's the smaller flower, another leaf. But all of these leaves aren't on here, but there's the 3 leaves right here. There's the 2 leaves right there, and then the little leaf is down here. And then we have the big flower and the little flower, and then the extra leaves. So we have that. We have the frosted dots, which come like this, and I don't want to spill them when I open this. But they are flat on one side. Now they are not adhesive back, so you have to use a little bit of adhesive with them, or a glue dot. But there's 3 different sizes, and there's about 360 gems in there. A lot of gems. And the paper is right here. I didn't have that right by my side, but it was close. And this is the paper. Isn't that pretty? I'll just flip through so you can see it. And these you can cut out with the dies. Isn't that pretty paper? Oops, we didn't see what was on the back of this one. Oh, it's just got that's the pretty peacock. And the other colors that goes with it is Daffodil Delight, Flirty Flamingo, Lost Lagoon, Petal Pink, Pretty Peacock, and Soft Seafoam. So that is the colors that go with it. And that all is going to be available to you in March. So we're going to set that off to the side now. We don't need that. And then here's the 3 extra. You got the embossing folders, the alphabet set, and the naturally gilded paper. And then there's some ideas with some cards that they made with it. Really a cute idea. So there we go. We got all that paperwork out of the way. Now here's our wreath that we're going to make, is this right here. This little kit comes in the cutest box. It's a little pizza box. And what you could do, it does not fit in here after it's made. It will bend the flowers up. But you could make anything and put in here. You could do a small picture frame and put a couple cards, make a little birthday set. Take and wrap the top of this box and around to the bottom so it hides this. You could leave the sides like this and decorate the front. Would be a really, really, really cute little box to decorate. So I'm going to keep that and hopefully get to decorate it. And once again, here's my address to my online store. Here's my host code. If you think you might need it, you can take a picture of it because I am going to move it in just 1 second. Here is our wreath form. And it is, like I said, 8 inches. This is going to be for a flower. This all comes in the kit. Here's some more leaves. We have 4 of these leaves. I've already punched them all out. There's 4 of these. Here's another leaf. 2 more leaves, sets. And all of this is going to go onto the card. Here's my big guitar pick. That's what I call it. This is what we're going to mount our flowers on. We have a flower here with 2 petals that we'll be putting together. And we have a flower here with 3 petals that I can't pick up. There we go. That we will be putting together. And then we have 6 little flowers here that goes on this green stem with the little holes in it. And we have these that go on top of these 2 flowers. And we have brads. We have 3 small brads, which goes with these flowers. We have a yellow brad, which goes with this flower, and then a Night of Navy that goes with this flower. So we will be putting this together. Okay, let's put our cord on. Well, no, let's do it by the directions. Here are the directions, and I just have to tell you, the directions are basically just colored pictures. It tells you this flower gets the 3 flowers, the 3 petals, this little starburst, sunburst looking center with this little center. And we're going to put all that together with a brad. And that shows you what it's going to look like when it's done. We're going to put a couple leaves on it. This is the other flower, and we just keep making it on down until we get everything made, okay? So, let's go ahead and make all of our flowers, okay? I can leave this page turned up, and I have another one of those because I made my other wreath. And here's the one that's done, but I don't know if you're going to be able to see that. I'll be flipping back and forth. So let's go ahead and make the flowers. Now what I'm going to do on all of my flowers is you're going to take a bone folder. I know mine's kind of dirty. That's because I rake it through my ink pads when I'm adding ink to them. But we're going to take this and we're just going to curl these leaves. And the bone folder works really well with this. So there's one. Let's do another one. I'm going to make sure I got the center out of. You just got to make sure you don't pull so hard that you pull the petal off. And that'll end up being over this like that. Then we're going to do our third flower. I'm poking these little centers out so that our brad will go through right there. So we don't want that in there because we need our brad. And I'm going to And I'm going to go ahead and put this flower together. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my bigger brad, which is right here, and I'm going to just add, this is our first center that's going to be up closest to the top of the brad. If I can get a hold of it. My fingers are cold. And it's not that cold in my house, so. And I'm going to put that on. Then I'm going to take this little sunburst looking center, and I'm going to add that. And I want to twist that to where now you can also kind of flip these up if you want. You just need to be really careful when you do it, because they can really bend on you. So we're going to put the two smaller ones on first. I'm going to put that right in the center. I'm going to bring the next one, and I'm going to kind of put the petals in between each other to make my flower really full. And I'm going to do the back one the same way. I'm going to see where I want that one. Don't think it really matters at this point. And we're going to open the brad. So when I open my brads, I just open it on the back to where they both are spread out. And that's kind of lumpy. I take and lay it down, and I take my thumb and I just press in the center, and that really secures that brad down. That flower's not going to go anywhere. We're going to take the two bigger leaves. There's two small and two bigger ones. We are going to go ahead and fold this on this fold line just to give it a little bit of depth. And what I'm going to do is I have this piece down here, and I'm going to glue my two flowers together. And I've got my trusty little glue gun here. It's old. It's a cordless glue gun, and I love it. That's why I keep it. I don't use it as much as I used to, but it's there for when I do want to. Okay, I've got my two leaves hooked together. Whoops, knocked it over. I'm going to add some glue in there with my glue gun again. And I'm just going to take and add that to the back of my flower. So I just want to press down where that glue is. Make sure I get it off of my fingers. I don't want it on my fingers if I can help it. So there's my leaves. So there's one flower. Now we're going to do our other flower, which is this one. And I'm going to have to poke out my center because it's not poked out. I have these little piercing tools, and there is one on the end of your pick tool. If you have a pick tool, that's right, like this. I'll use it since it's Stampin' Up, and I should when I need it. I'm going to go ahead and take this flower, and I'm going to do the same, just kind of and then we have this center, which is just a starburst, and I'll go ahead, and this thing flattens out so fast, I don't even know why I take time to do it, but it's just because I like to see it kind of out there. It looks like eyelashes, doesn't it? So I'm going to take the large, let me find it on here. I actually didn't do this in order, but that's okay. It's this flower right here. So I'm going to take and put my navy blue brad down the center. And you just want to make sure you don't pull off your little pieces to your center of your flower. We're going to add that one to these flower petals, and we only have 2, so we'll just make that a full flower. We're going to open up our brads again, just like we did the last time, and see how I got that opened. I'm going to lay it down. Now, I do want to tell you, if you don't like it on your thumb, if it feels like it hurts or you don't have enough strength, you can take a block and just hold that down on there and push it, and it'll make that lay really, really flat for you. And that's especially good when you're making a card. This, I mean, it's 3D, so if it's hanging on a wall, that's okay. We're going to take our 2 leaves. We're going to fold those really well. It's all about the dimension. And then we're going to take each leaf and we're going to add them on separately. So I'm going to put some glue right on that little part at the bottom. And I'm going to add that to my flower. Making sure I hold that down. One thing about glue from a glue gun, it dries so fast it just flakes off. You can just rub it off your hands. Now you gotta be careful though, because if you have a glue gun that gets really, really, really hot, it can burn you really bad. And we don't want nobody getting burnt making this. I've been burnt pretty bad with a glue gun. I've worked in craft industry. Gosh, I've been retired from it for 16 years, I think, and I worked in it for almost 25. Shows you how old I am. Geez. And I've used a lot of glue guns. I used to do weddings and toll painting, all kinds of stuff, and I've burnt myself pretty bad with them. They're not fun. So we have those 2 flowers made. Now we're going to make this flower. So we're going to bring this little piece in. I'm going to bring my 6 flowers in. I'm going to lay these right here just so they'll be easier to pick up. I'm going to leave 3 of them flat, and I'm going to take the other 3 and I'm going to curl my leaves. I mean my petals. And I said that exact same thing in my Facebook Live video. Gosh, you'd think I'd learn. But hey. So we're just going to and you just want to give this a curl. I can't get it up. Let's. They've made this kit really easy to make with the brads and everything. It's just a very simple wreath to make. It would be fun if you could get a few friends together and have a night where you could just have snacks and, you know, make something like this. That would be really fun. Okay, I'm going to put one behind, the flat one behind the curled one, and I'm going to bring in the 3 small brads. That goes in your flower. And then on your stem. Gosh, you'd think I couldn't see. Of course, I did just talk about how old I was, so might be the reason. Dang. I'll flatten all of these once I get my flowers on here. So, and it's just a matter of putting these together. You do not have to glue them together. You just want to, because once you flatten that brad, when we get all 3 of these on here, I will make sure my flowers are spread apart the way they should be, and press that down, and then your flowers will not move on you. So, okay, we got all 3 of these on here now. Let's open this brad. And I'm going to make sure that that one is turned a little bit. I'm going to lay it down and I'm going to push on it. I got it flat. I'm going to do the same with this one. I'm going to make sure that these petals are turned the right way. I'm going to lay that down and press on it. And then I'll do the last one. It's already that way. So let's press on it. And I am actually going to take this and make sure I got them down. There we go. So they are all down. So there are my flowers made to, oh, we got to make this flower. When I made this flower in my other video, I kind of creased these. Wasn't a good idea because they were like folded in half instead of fluffed in half. So what I did, I'm going to move my camera down a little bit to where you see the end of my table, I hope. Yep, there it goes. And what I did is I just put this on the end and rolled it. So that gives it that natural curve. Can you see that? Let's move this back so we have room to do the... Sorry about that if you get dizzy. And now what I'm going to do that I did not do then, I just rolled it. Started it with a little bit of glue gun on each end. So I'm going to take this tear and tape. As soon as I find the end, it's right here. And it does not show this in... Let me get the... well, let me put it on. I'm going to do it anyway. And I'm going to do it right down here on this end. Well, if I can get that settled down right there. And I am not going to, like, stretch, because I don't want the paper to have to stretch. But I'm putting this down. Let's move this out of the way so I don't have that hump. So I'm just putting this down right here on the edge. There we go. Now let me show you in the directions. It does not say, all right? I didn't make it out to say that you do this. Here's the directions, and all it is showing there, well, no, there it looks like it's got the tear and tape. I did not see that, but it's right there. And then I guess after you fold it, you put a little bit of glue on each end. So let's fold this with the tear and tape. I did not do that last night, and it did not turn out as well. So I think I've got that down really good because you want it to stick. And then you want to peel the white piece of paper. And that'll leave the double-sided tear and tape down. So now what I'm going to do is I'm not going to squeeze in the center there. I'm just going to match that end up. And I'm going to walk my fingers. Can you see how I'm just walking my fingers and kind of pressing that down? Once I get this all the way across, then I will press it a little harder. But all I'm doing is pressing this down. Much easier than what I did last night so far. You know, I guess you got to make a couple to know what you're doing. Okay, what I'm going to do is just on that little line, because I don't want to bend my flowers. I'm just going to take my, not that I have fingernails, but I want that to really stay. Now what it's telling me to do is taking my glue gun and then rolling it. Let's put a little bit of the glue gun on there and roll it. So let's do that. And once we start rolling, My glue gun is cordless, so I need to set it back on its... So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm going to fold it. I think I need a little bit more glue gun on there so I can get it folded good. Okay, that should catch it. Because I just want that to catch where I'm folding this over. See how I folded that over? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to keep that is not holding well. You know what I'm going to do? Sometimes you just don't like what things say. You have to do it your way. I'm going to take and add a few glue dots down here. I think my glue gun dried too quick. So I'm going to get that, I'm going to put this down to where it's going to stick. Make sure I don't smash my flower there. Then I'm going to take a couple more glue dots. Now they do supply glue dots for you right here. But I have a hard time with these. For one thing, I don't have any fingers, nails. So if I put that down, let's see if I can flip the top off of it. Yep. So there's one. We're going to let that stay there. And we're going to just roll it. And that's going to give it a little bit more stability. So when I do that, I'm going to press down when I get to one of those. So let's put another one on. Might as well use what they gave me, huh? Let's go ahead and put a few of them. And this part it doesn't say. It did say the tear and tape, and I missed that last night. But that's okay. When I get down here, I'm going to put 2. Because I want that a little bit longer when I go to close that up. And see? That one did not want my... Take my... Sometimes you got to make yourself use something that you're not used to. Which, I don't like to do that. So, got a lot of little dots now, don't I? Okay. So let's finish rolling this, and I'm just going to roll the edge. Keeping that edge down there. Trying to keep it straight. And gluing it at the same time. So I'm just rolling that. And so that I got those glue dots on there, but I'm still going to put a little bit of glue gun with them. Reinforcements to hold this shut, since it's got so much paper. And I'm going to hold that shut for a minute till all of that dries. And then I'm just going to take my flower and fan it out. And once I get it on the wreath, and they still close up on you. Thought that would help. Okay, let's make the wreath now. So what we're going to do with this wreath is we're going to first wrap it with yarn. And I got to, I'm sorry, but my computer's going to die. I need to plug it in. Imagine that happening. Oh, it's a new computer and I can't. There we go. Plugged in, it says. Well, that was always something, always something. Okay, now I'm going to take this and I am going to find the end. And I am going to measure, and it doesn't tell you, I don't think, how much to measure. Let's see. It says 7.5 inches of, yeah, it says about 7.5 inches of this. I'm going to do about 7. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take and I'm going to glue that behind on the back of my wreath. And I'm going to do it with the glue gun, because it will hold it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave that hang. And I'm going to take this and I'm just going to wrap it around. And you want to keep that close as you're wrapping. And we're going to wrap all this around. Just lost my glue dots in the floor. So we're just going to wrap this and we're going to keep wrapping it. Can you see how I'm keeping that right next to each other? You could do this with ribbon. This is kind of like our thick baker's twine. You could use yarn. You could use even like some jute cording maybe if you wanted that real rustic look. There's so many things you could wrap the wreath with. And we're going to wrap this till that's gone. And this is like your most time-consuming part of this whole process. It's almost gone. In fact, I'm going to unroll the rest of it. And we're just going to put this on. And this is actually going to make our hanger to where we can hang it. I'm going to hang this one down here in my craft room. I made a wreath a couple years ago. It was one of the first videos I ever did with when I first started doing Facebook videos, which was during the pandemic, and I used our tulip punch and the leaves and made a really cute wreath back then. And it hangs down here. Also, I used an embroidery hoop to do it, which made it really sturdy. But you can buy these chipboard wreaths like at Hobby Lobby, and I think have them to where you could make different kinds of paper wreaths with your punches. But this kit's got such a nice price point on it that you don't have to do all that work. So, I'm about to get to the end, and I think that'll do it. And then what I'm going to do is back of this area, I'm going to add glue with my glue gun. And I'm going to just put that down really tight. And I'm going to take my scissors and cut that off so to where you don't see that frayed edge. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take and add just a little bit more of my glue gun right next to that where I just did that. And I'm going to take my piece of ribbon and I'm going to bring it over here to where you can't see the back of it. And I'm going to lay that there. And nobody's going to see the back. I'm going to add just a little bit of glue right over that to kind of solder it together with glue. Let that dry a minute. Get all the glue strings off of my fingers. That's a good thing, isn't it? Okay, then we're going to turn that over, and there's our little hanger and our, it's not quite dry, it's getting on my desk here. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take our little guitar pick. That's what I'm going to call this. It's our guitar pick. And I'm going to add my flowers. We're going to add one over here. We're going to add one over here. And it shows you here if you want to follow the picture. Look at me with glue coming everywhere. Ooh. Go away. And right here it shows us how to put it on here. And you can see the flowers. So what we're going to do is we're going to put the glue gun right here and right here. And I'm going to add this one. And I'm going to set it there for a minute. And I want this one here. Okay, so now I'm going to press down where that glue is. And hope I don't glue to my table. So there we have that. Then I'm going to take this. Now, I don't like this long stem. Did the same last night. I cut it off a little bit because I don't want all that. And I'm going to glue that down right in between these flowers. Okay. I'm going to glue it something like right there. So what I'm going to do is just take and glue that down. So it's like that. Okay. Now we're going to take this flower and it's going to go right here. So I'm going to put, I'm actually going to put my glue right here on my flower. So I get that circle. And I'm going to add it right here. I'm going to let that sit there, and I'm going to let it dry a minute. And while that's drying, we're going to take our 2 big leaves. And if you can see right here on our picture, we're going to just offset the leaves just a little bit. And they are already curved at the way that they will go. So we are going to put these like right like this. Okay. So what I did was I took, what did I do with my little glue dots again? Or yeah, glue dots. I turned my flower over, wrong end. I turned my flower over, or my leaves, and I stuck a few of these, make sure I'm getting on the right side, yes. Right in the center, because I know that they'll be covered up. And I put them where the leaves are so you can't see them. Let's go ahead and pop those off. I got glue all over my hand. Glue strings. I thought it came up. There we go. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to get this glue off my finger. I'm going to put a little bit of glue right here. It's not going to be seen, so I don't have to worry about it. And I'm going to put this on my, and that's going to hold that down. I'm going to take and do the same with this one, just because I like for it to hold. You know, you don't have to do this part, but I want my leaf to not, especially if you live in a humid area or something like that, then you have worry about some of this stuff getting kind of droopy. It gets humid enough at my house. I don't want to live in a real humid area. So I'm going to add glue gun to the bottom of that. And we're going to add that here and just leave a little bit of space opening there. I'm going to put this down. So there we have our leaves. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this in. I'm going to bring tear and tape in. And I'm going to get a piece about as big as my oversized guitar pick. And I'm going to put this down. And then we'll raise the, I don't want to poke myself. I already, on my hand, it's almost gone from here to here. I slid it with a box cutter the other day, working at our food pantry at church. I was like, oh my goodness. Okay, this is going to go in here, and it's going to go right where I put that tear and tape. So I want to press this down and make sure that we get it all on the tear and tape and that it is and there is our wreath. Isn't that cute? That's all there is to it. That's all we have to do to make it. So I hope you enjoyed it. if you would like to order that, you can order it online. And the number, let me give you the number for it again, is 162362 is the order number. They'd make cute little gifts. They'd make cute little Easter gifts, you know, because it's springy and that. So they'd make nice little gifts for that. Or just to give somebody, like I took one up to my sister and hung it on her door. And she enjoyed it, so I was glad about that. So, there we go. And that is what I have for you today. So, until next time, I hope you guys have a wonderful time, that your days are good, and that they are blessed. And I will see you again sometime next week. Have a great day. Bye.